Yo, before we get into this Bleacher Report show where I was not happy about the current status of the Tush Push as the ban is inevitable, let me tell you about something that makes me so happy. And that's my friends over at Green Lawn Fertilizing. I did not pay attention to my lawn, ladies and gentlemen. When I first became a homeowner, there was so much going on here, I neglected my lawn. I'm an idiot. Don't be an idiot. Green Lawn Fertilizing with multiple different treatments can help out your lawn recover, and it could make it be the greatest lawn in the history of your neighborhood, and there's no better feeling. Listen to this. They are the best in the Philadelphia area and the best in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware specifically. Extremely knowledgeable. They've created their own custom blend, and the first round is so important to lay the groundwork for the rest of the season. So they are offering all listeners right now that sign up with my link in the description 2 free treatments and 10% off for you. 2 free treatments and 10% off. Do not be a fool. Get your lawn looking luscious. Green Lawn Fertilizing. The link is down below. It'll say that Brode sent you the second you sign up with that link. You guys are the greatest in the world. Thank you all so much. I love you and enjoy the show. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome on into Bleacher Report, and it looks like the Tush Push is eventually going to get banned. We all heard the discussion over the last 24 hours, and it seems right now it's split 16-16 when it comes to these owners. But the truth is, Roger Goodell already made a statement about not wanting to push players from behind or pull players anymore like it was before 04. But this is where I'm getting a little aggravated. It's less about the Eagles not being able to find success in short yardage situations next season, because when you have this offensive line, when you have this quarterback, when you have Jeff Stoutland, when you have Nick Sirianni, you are always going to be put in a position. Oh, by the way, Saquon frickin' Barkley, you will have plenty of opportunities to outperform your opponent looking to squeeze out a yard, looking to gain an advantage. You're set up for success. So I don't think that this going away is now ultimately going to make this team go from top of the NFC to with the rest of the pack in the NFC. But there's something to be said about the damn principle of this. Do not urinate all over my leg and tell me that it's just a storm coming, all right? Because the truth is, you don't care about player safety a lick. The way that this is getting described with no data, by the way. They're trying to say that they want to get out in front of some catastrophic injury, and that's the word they used. Yet they ignore CTE. Now, that's harsh, right? But if they wanted to get out of catastrophic injuries, then you got to change the way offensive linemen play. Then you got to change the way defensive linemen play. Then you got to take away over the middle of the field passes because somebody could take somebody's head off. Again, that is extreme and it's very harsh, but it's the truth. There are brain injuries that are happening that are forcing people to have catastrophic injuries, yet they don't care. They add more games, 17 games, 18 games. They do not care one bit about player safety. Yet for a version of the QB sneak, now all of a sudden they want to put their players in the best position possible to be healthy. No way. So just don't lie to me. Come out and say it. You know what? The league is mad that the Eagles can do it better than everybody else, so we're removing it from the game. They look like frauds. They look like morons. They look like idiots. They look like wusses. They look like you know what. So they could never. But that's the truth. So that's why I get flustered by it, because it's a bunch of BS. And I don't take BS easily. Jeffrey Lurie, the owner, spoke and made it very clear. This is all a chess match. We've seen it develop for years and years now that the passing game got ahead of the defense. Then the curve goes the other way where teams start to run the ball more because, well, squads wanted to defend explosive plays in the passing game, which allowed for teams to run the football better. It's all about the chess match. The amount of details, the amount of emphasis, the amount of time the Philadelphia Eagles, Nick Sirianni, Jalen spent on practicing that play is absurd. And the reason why they are extremely effective at it while others aren't is, one, your personnel is better than yours, or better than the opponent, that is. And two, the amount of time they spend doing it. That's why it's good. Nobody else can do it. Sean McDermott, the biggest hypocrite in the world, my God. This guy honestly said that this is so dangerous. Yet he runs it with Josh Allen, who just got paid a ridiculous boatload amount of money. It's so dangerous that he's willing to constantly run his quarterback into the ground with it. And then when asked if he's going to continue to do it, this was prior to it getting pushed back to May and all, so who knows how this is going to play out by the start of the regular season. But this man honestly said, yeah, we're still doing. We'll just try and run some version of a variation of it. He's umming and ahhing his way through it with just absolutely zero information to talk about it at a high level and defend why he's saying what he's saying, because the only reason why he can't defend it, because the only reason why he wants to take it out of the game is because he can't do it, and the Eagles can at such an extreme clip. So it's crazy. But the truth is, this thing is going to get ripped out of the game because the Eagles are just flat out better than anyone. Don't tell me that, well, it's cheating because you push play. Then why can't you do it? If it's as simple as all you got to do is push somebody, and that's the leverage, and that's why they're so great, then why are other teams failing so miserably? Why is Jordan Love falling over and not even being able to successfully look the part? It's because the emphasis on details, the amount of times they focus on it throughout the practice week to perfect it, they are extremely talented at it, and it's not easy to do. Some around the league know that, though, because they don't want to be the teams that are saying remove it from the game because they can't stop it. Because what's next? What type of can of worms does this open if you, guilty conscious, you're going to sit there and you're going to say, yeah, let's vote this to be gone? When you could have the next play. You could be the team that comes up with the next awesome phenomenon. You could be the team that has something up your sleeve that is so worthy of greatness, but other teams can't stop it. So then when are you going to get that next wave of it? This is just the beginning. You're opening up a can of worms. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I cannot believe they try and sell you. The NFL tries to sell you safety. They don't care about one person in that league. They care about money. They care about making majority of people in the league circle happy. I'm starting to wonder with how much Netflix is getting involved in this, how much money's getting thrown around by the TV networks. Is there an aesthetic conversation happening here? Because I heard from some coaches, they just don't like the look of it. And because it doesn't look right, they don't want it. Well, does Netflix have a say? What if Netflix doesn't like it? What if Amazon Prime? Yeah, by the way, the same league that's shoving Thursday night football down your throat after these players are getting banged up and brutal intensity and harsh reality of putting their body on the line. Hey, by the way, you play in 4 days. Good luck. Hey, you're flying to Brazil too, by the way. Player safety. This league's a joke. It's a joke. I watch every second, but it's a joke. Amazon Prime, they thrilled with the way it looks? They happy about it? I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But that does need to be factored into the equation that there are big corporations paying hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars for the product to be on their television. and to be on their networks. And if they feel obligated to have an opinion, Roger Goodell is listening. And Roger Goodell, the fraud that he is probably going to do what they want. So it's just crazy. Not pleasant to watch. Okay. Now, as much as I don't think the Birds will be doomed down the road by any means, here's the truth. And I said this all throughout the season. One thing that we have in our back pocket, imagine I get to tell you that when the Eagles start out a drive, every time they get the football, when their defense turns it over on downs for you and it sets up your offense nicely, if you get a pick or if you force a punt on a 3-and-out, and now here comes Jalen Hurts trotting from the sidelines with AJ, Devontae, the offensive line, they're huddling up, ready to start this journey of a drive, you automatically start every fresh set of downs at 1st and 8.5. Because you got something that can consistently get you a first down. When it's 3rd and 1, when it's 3rd and 1.5, if it's 4th and 1. So they'll have a variation off of this. Trust me. Jeffrey Lurie already hinted at that we're prepared. So whether it stays in the game or not, we're already thinking. This is a very proactive bunch. He talked about the obsession that Howie Roseman has for wanting that 3rd and the obsession of making this team a juggernaut and the obsession of being an elite franchise. So trust me, they probably have 3 or 4 plays that they can generate something very similar. And I do believe that. So maybe this, what I'm about to say, is irrelevant. But as much as I don't think that they're screwed long-term by any means, it is nice to know that you are at such an advantage starting off every drive and every set of downs at 1st and 8.5. It's a big deal. That's a monster advantage. It won't change much, I don't think. But when you lay it out like that, you go, whoa. So is this hypocritical? I don't know. I mean, you can't really tell me that this is going to change their win total drastically. But think about starting off each drive that way. You know what it is, too? It's demoralizing. When you're the other team and you know it's coming, Jordan Mailata can laugh right in your face, and you could be talking trash all game long, and you could be staring at Lane Johnson and Cam Jurgens and Dickerson or anybody who slots in at right guard, and you could be running your trap. But the truth is, the moment you get into a down and distance when it's time to run the most inevitable play in football, and you can't do anything about it, it steals your soul. It really does. It hurts you. Because here we go. It got so bad that the referees paused the game against the Commanders and said, don't do this again, Frankie Louvu, or we are just going to hand the Philadelphia Eagles 7. You don't think that that's soul crushing? So there may be ways to get success in short yardage situations. But if it doesn't come with that same level of intensity, that same level of being demoralized, then you lose a little power. You lose a bit of that mental toughness against the other team. That's what it's about, too. As much as it's about the physical game and being in the trenches and having to go up against Lane Johnson snap for snap, there's also a sense of, you have this team beat. And the other team knows you have them beat. And you can see the wear and tear in their eyes. Frankie Louvu had to pretty much embarrass himself and embarrass the game of football because it was getting so bad. What needs to happen is the defensive coordinators needs to grow a set and figure out what they can do to stop the madness. That's what you have to do. That's part of this. You get paid a lot of money to watch film, to go to their version of the NovaCare complex, to study the tape, to try and stop the best in the world. Try and stop Tom Brady. Try and stop Peyton Manning. Try and stop Aaron Rodgers. Try and stop Marshawn Lynch. Try and stop Adrian Peterson. Well, try and stop Jalen Hurts because this dude's in the gym, in the weight room, squatting 600 pounds. And part of the success that you get off of that is being able to effectively run this play. So I don't know what you got to do. But that's almost like saying, hey, Megatron, you're too good at wide receiver. You're only allowed to use one hand. That's unfair. Hey, Jalen Carter, you're such a dominant force. You know what? As much as I would like to use Jalen Carter as the example, Aaron Donald, you don't get to wear cleats. No cleats because you're just too good. This is part of what makes Jalen Hurts special and unique. It's different. That's why it's always hard to describe him compared to others and what makes him go and what makes him so special as a QB. It's a lot of uniqueness that nobody can really duplicate. You just have it. And he has the ability. And part of that is his weight room ability. Yeah, I don't know if anybody can just squat 600, even if you want to, and you want to naturally progress to that. I'm sure at some point your body just maxes out. Not everybody has that. Not anybody can just do it. You don't ruin the greatness. Hey, Aaron, you're too good at throwing the football in his prime when he's constantly winning MVPs. You're not allowed to throw the football anymore past, 10 yards. That's the equivalent of what we are dealing with right now. And the problem is, the league runs the asylum. They're going to do what they want to do. They're going to strip it out of the playbook, and then we just have to accept it and then watch our team, and they're going to do what they do. And this isn't the first time they've made poor decisions as a league, and it's definitely not going to be the last, and I consume the product, and I watch constantly. So I'm not going anywhere. This is no boycott thing where I can't believe it. You do this, I'm out. Nope, I'm there week 1. I'll be there at 1 o'clock. I'll be there Thursday night football. I'll be there Monday night football. Everything I hate about you, whatever. Unfortunately, that's the truth. But it doesn't mean that I am any less sour in the moment because it really, truly is about the mixed meshing. I would be, I'd probably be just as mad. I'm not going to lie, but I'm just trying to lay this out in a way where, if you just said, it's too good of a play, would I feel worse or better? Would I feel better because at least they're not lying? Maybe. Don't hide behind player safety. I promise you this, the Philadelphia Eagles do their research before just throwing nonsense out there. Jeffrey Lurie stated that the reason why they even went this route to begin with is because there's actually more cushion and more players around for the quarterback than a QB sneak. And I don't think Jeffrey Lurie, the smart owner that he is just pulling nonsense out of his rear end, especially in such a toxic time surrounding this play. Now, we could probably talk about offensive linemen who are at the bottom of this, and it's not fun to be underneath all those big bodies and, your center's diving, everybody's diving on the ground or whatnot. But then same applies to just traditional pass blocking, traditional run blocking. It's bad. And player safety, if that is truly what's on the top of their mind, then we got to redo this entire sport. Then we got to recalibrate this entire thing. You probably get more injured on a wide receiver screen than you do on this play. There's literally no information at all on this play resulting in, quote, catastrophic. They're saying catastrophic injuries is what they see in the future with this play. I mean, let that sink in. Just because of how stupid that sounds, just because of how pathetic that is of an explanation, that alone would make me keep the play in. Again, if you just were honest, I'd probably still be outraged because at that point then it becomes a legal thing. Okay, what do you mean? I'm taking your ass to court. That's what I'd be saying. So there really is no way to go about this to remove it. Here's the simple answer. I got the fix. Yo, Roger, you listening? As we sit here on Bleacher Report and talk about this mess, here, I'll tell you what to do. Shut your pie hole, keep it in the game, and let the Philadelphia Eagles go to work because they ain't doing anything wrong. Easy fix. But he's got to keep certain owners happy. And I know Howie and Nick and Lori, they're doing the best they can to talk to certain coaches and owners out there. And it's split. It's split. But I'm telling you, there's no way the ones who are voting for it to be out are thinking anything other than we just don't have answers. And if that's the case, what a disrespectful moment to the game of football. You got to respect your peers. You got to respect the eliteness of talent and coaches around you. And that is such a smack in the face. It's a brotherhood. You should have pride to have a logo on your chest of a team that plays in the NFL. You get to be the face of that team if you're one of these coaches. Hell, if you're one of these owners, you get to own one of these. Are you kidding me? And you're going to spit in the mouth of this sport that gives you what you have? The football gods will come back to you. I mean, that's just the truth. You can't disrespect the game that way. At some point, you got to pay. You're going to get that bad juju coming your way if that's the case, because you're just jealous that you can't stop it. And it is the truth. It's not one of those things where, hey, just because it's Philadelphia, it's my team, I feel that way about it. It's pretty much just straight up reality, because there's no literally any other reason why people would vote this as a no. Other than the team that won a championship is so consistently lethal at it to get them closer to the pack, and to get us closer to a championship, in theory, is to remove something that they excel in. So now they are lesser than. Now they are weaker, which makes us technically stronger in a weird way. And when we play next year, I can't have them have that. I can't let them start off the game first and 8.5. I can't allow them to start every drive first and 8.5. I get paid to win games. Get this out of the game. But think about the loser mentality. The amount of respect I have for those 16 teams that are saying, keep this thing in. It's the truth. While Green Bay crying. And who was it? Was it Atlanta off the top of my head? What are we doing? Losers, just losers. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this episode on Bleacher Report. I appreciate you guys all so much. I will catch you again tomorrow, same time, 6 Eastern, right here, Bleacher Report. We'll talk about some of the updates on Dallas Goedert. We'll talk about Jeffrey Lurie's press conference as a whole, a little bit more in depth. Obviously, spent a lot of time on the tush push angle today, because it was definitely making a lot of noise around the NFL world. But we'll talk more about everything that transpired today a little bit more tomorrow. Appreciate it. You guys are the best. I love you. Talk to you then. Go Birds.